What it do? This is your brother Bishop of Bishop Zone TV, and today's topic is another Kanye and Kim Kardashian video. I know y'all tired of it. I'm tired of it. No, it pays the bills, right? Talk about other people's lives. Nah, but for real though, I'm gonna come at it a little different because there's a lesson to be learned in all this. Now, I'm not coming at this on some she's wrong or Kanye's wrong. I mean, yeah, if you watch my previous video on Kanye West, y'all need to check it out because there's a lot of problematic things about Kanye West. It's a lot. And, I don't know these people personally, but just judging from the outside looking in, because there's some things I can relate to, honestly, on either side, We'll get into that later. But Kanye mentally seems out of whack. I know it's a lot of Kanye West standing like a motherfucker. You know what I mean? Y'all, anything this dude does, y'all gonna condone, straight up. Y'all gonna excuse it, y'all gonna apologize for it, whatever. I'm not here to do that, but I'm not here to focus primarily on Kanye and Kim Kardashian per se. But I'm using them as a frame of reference because there is a lesson to be learned, fellas. And sisters too. Women, men, you both can learn something from this. But because I'm a man, I'm speaking from a male's perspective. Because that's the only way I can do it. So, what is the lesson to be learned? Even though these celebrities, their lives are public, believe it or not, I can relate to some things with this. Let's just start off the top. So Kanye West, for the past couple of years now, man, the brother has been mentally out of whack. Don't care what your stand say, he is mentally out of there. Now, I'm not gonna call the man crazy. I don't know if he's suffering from bipolar or what. I'm not a doctor, so I'm not gonna diagnose this cat. However, something's mentally going on, right? But I can relate to this to some level because even though I'm not speaking from the role of a baby daddy, I'm happily married now. But back in the day, I was going through some issues with an ex, not a wife, not an ex-wife, but an ex-girlfriend. And some of the antics that I see Kanye West do, believe it or not, I did something similar, except I wasn't mentally out of whack, so to speak, but I wasn't necessarily 100% myself. I think a lot of brothers, a lot of men have been in this position, and I'm going to tell you what position that is. So, if you've been following this Kanye, Kim Kardashian thing, I really haven't followed it too much, but I know the basics just because it's all over social media. Then you know that, look, Kim Kardashian filed a divorce against Kanye West. Kanye West agreed to it. They officially have been divorced for quite some time now. When I say quite some time, maybe some months or whatever. And of course, Kim Kardashian has moved on. And she's gotten with Pete Davidson, comedian from Saturday Night Live. Not only that, but at least on the surface, Kanye West has moved on. I say on the surface because not really. If you look at social media, Kanye West is doing the Kanye West shit, basically, and making it all about himself and publicly displaying their relationship fallout and his frustrations with the process of the aftermath of the divorce, with him trying to see his kids, claiming it's about keeping the family together and whatnot. So basically, Kim Kardashian has just kind of been more so, I would say, silent. And when she does speak on her previous marriage, she it's more so in response to Kanye West putting out this narrative of whatever he's pushing at the moment in time, you know. Whereas Kanye West, he's kind of been, I mean, he's been more honest and open and, well, I can't say honest, but, you know, Kanye West has been more out and open with his feelings, whether they be sporadic or erratic or not or whatever. He's been out there, you know. And one thing I can say, based off my own personal experience with an ex, it's obvious that Kanye West did not want this marriage to end. Again, we know Kim Kardashian was the one that initiated the divorce. I'm not saying she was wrong or right. I mean, I kind of get where she was coming from. I mean, Kanye West was doing the most. But I understand it, you know? But it's obvious Kanye West wasn't with it. But even if it seems as though he's moved on as well, at least on the surface, because we've seen him with other women that look similar to Kim Kardashian, you know, look, I'm gonna tell you straight up, it's obvious that the brother still has probably more feelings towards her than she does for him. You know, maybe she has some feelings still. I believe she probably does. Then again, I don't know these people. But I'm speaking from the perspective of a man who was once in that position. Now, I'm exposed a little bit of myself, be a little bit more vulnerable. But many moons ago, your boy was out here looking bad. I was in a relationship that lasted about a year and some change. And my ex, before I got happily married, she broke up with me. And let's just say she broke up with me based off something that, you know, she believed I did, you know. I can't say I did or didn't. But, you know, the optics were bad. I understand, I get it. It was a bad look. And she broke up with me. But prior to that, we was kind of having a bumpy relationship. It wasn't all the way roses and parades and stuff. You know, it wasn't lollipops and gumdrops. It was far from it. But, you know, it was what it was. And so when she broke up with me, I wasn't ready to accept it because I wasn't ready to end the relationship. And when you're the man that's not ready to end a relationship, and then you see your ex quickly get a rebound, that's a problem. That stings a man's ego straight up. You know what I mean? And thank God I wasn't a celebrity. I wasn't a public figure at the time because shit, I probably would have been looking, I wouldn't look as bad as Kanye, but I would kind of be looking crazy out here, maybe, you know, because I remember doing some things trying to win her back. You know? And it's not a good look. Especially when you're the rebound. This is why I'm saying, fellas, a lesson to be learned. One of the many lessons you can learn from this is do not find yourself in the position of a rebound. Pete Davidson is a rebound. I believe so. You do not want to be a rebound to a woman who has a baby dad or ex-boyfriend. And you definitely don't want to be a rebound to a woman who is a single mother, fresh single mother. Now, I know, oh shoot, y'all about to say, you talking about the single mothers. Haven't we had enough? Hasn't Kevin Samuels been enough? Look, I'm not saying that single mothers shouldn't date. I'm just saying when it's fresh and new, it could be a problem. And even if you're not a single mother, even if you're a woman who just got out of a bad relationship with no kids attached, or a man, fellas and women, do not find yourself as the rebound. It's not. 9 out of 10 times, it's not gonna work. And in this instance, speaking on my ex, I wasn't the rebound, but she had rebounds. And I can recall being really jealous. And And I can remember acting out of character because I still had emotions tied, and I felt hurt. I was hurt. So, you know what I'm saying? Feeling hurt, not wanting the relationship to be over, and then seeing another man, seeing you got with another man so quickly, all the thoughts run through your mind, and then your hurt becomes rage, and rage becomes jealousy, and then you find any kind of way to try to win your ex back. Not only that, but then you start to find yourself disliking somebody you don't even know, i.e. the new guy. And I can remember me. That was me. That was me. I was ready to fight this guy. I was ready to fight this dude. Didn't know the dude. I mean, really, shit. I should have just charged to the game. He didn't owe me nothing, but I felt like he owed me something. You know, instead of having problems with her, not saying I should have, had the same kind of energy, but my beef wasn't with him. But I made it my beef because I was like, he's coming on my territory, And I tried to make his life a living hell. So I can recall, and mind you, this was many, many moons ago. I can talk about this now loud and all that good stuff, but back then I could not. This was around the time when Omarion dropped Icebox. That's how far back that goes. But this was the Icebox era, and I can remember I was listening to a lot of sad love songs and a lot of FU songs. So Zero was one of my favorite rappers right this time. If y'all know who Zero is outside of Texas, shouts out to you. And Zero's still a dope rapper, but I was really feeling Zero. Like he was Reverend Roe, Rare Bro at the time. And I can recall. Now, I'm not gonna give out her name. I'm not gonna give out her information. But let me just paint the picture a little clearer. So at the time, I was going to school in Waco, Texas, and she stayed in Dallas. And Waco and Dallas is just an hour and maybe 10, 15 minutes apart from each other. So I can recall several times making unannounced trips just to see if I can win it back. In my mind, I was thinking, man, if I just drive up here unexpectedly, that would prove that I really love this girl. I still love her. I still want to be with her. Right? I'm just playing. That's some incel shit. So I remember one time, I would never do this shit now, But I recall one time when I found out that she had a rebound, right? And not only did she have a rebound, but the rebound that she was with worked with her. I can recall going up to Dallas on Friday afternoon and saying, you know what, I'm gonna make a surprise visit at a job. Bad move. But I did. I made a surprise visit because I knew. I said, the new guy, he's probably gonna be there, and I want him to see who I am. And I was even like, shit, if some shit pop off, it's gonna pop off. Not even thinking like I could get her fired from her job. I wasn't even thinking on that level. That didn't cross my mind until after the fact. And when I say after the fact, I'm talking years. Well, no, months. Give myself a little bit more credit, but yeah. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna pull up. And pulled up, I did. And I'm up here talking to her and shit, and she was shocked, she was surprised, and she's working. And I'm up here just, I ain't doing shit. Nothing related to her actual duties on the job. But I'm just trying to talk to her and trying to let him know, like, nigga, that's still mine. And it got to a point where, I was trying to get her back. I was trying to like, so what's up, man? I drove all the way from Waco to Dallas just to prove to you that I still want to be with you. You know what I'm saying? And eventually it didn't work. You know what I'm saying? It didn't work that day. But you know, mission was accomplished. It was accomplished at the time because the guy eventually he got pissed off, and you know, they had they talked about it and stuff, and then he had asked her, well, do you still have feelings for him? And she said, yeah, you know, and they didn't go too well. They didn't sit too well with him. So much so to the point where he busted out of windows, you know. And I remember getting a call from her, probably like the next day, or maybe 2-3 days later, where she told me like, you know, he busted my windows out because I wouldn't agree to be in a committed relationship with him because I still had feelings for you. And part of me was like, I gotta pull up on this dude. Like, where he stay? Where he stay? I'm up here saying all this hot shit. Like, where he stay? Where he stay? You know, thank God she didn't tell me. Thank God she wasn't that ratchet when she was like, he stayed such and such. Because ain't no telling what happened. I mean, if a dude crazy enough to bust her windows open, all because what? She wouldn't agree to be in a relationship with him. Then he might be crazy enough to shoot me. But he was the rebound, you know what I mean? And a part of me was like, you know, oh yeah, her safety. But another part of me was like, yes. Now, eventually it didn't work. It didn't work. But this is what I'm saying. Me, being the kind of brother I am, I tried to make his life a living hell. Pete Davidson, I know you're not listening. I know you're not looking at this video. None of y'all. But if you happen to run across, brother, white brother, you're a rebound, okay? Don't get yourself involved too deeply, especially with Kim Kardashian. I mean, I'm not trying to talk about the young woman. I'm not trying to be that mean, but the track record ain't that good. I mean, she like the Boston Celtics of the 60s, the Lakers of the 80s, the Bulls of the 90s when it comes to this divorce thing, you know? And I'm not coming from one of those people too, one of those cats who like, Kanye West ain't doing no wrong. She the one that got the body, she the one that got the track record. Shit, Kanye West should have known. Kanye West is getting what he deserved, I'm just being honest. Nigga, she was for the streets and you wiped something for the streets. If the signs say beware the dog, and if you get bit, then nobody told you to stick your finger in the gate. Not calling a woman. I know that was bad. I'm sorry. I apologize. But it is not worth it, Pete. It ain't worth it. Trust me. Now, I've been on Pete's side as well. I dated a woman. Or I was talking to a woman, I should say, many moons ago, who just had a baby. But according to her, you know, he didn't have his shit together. He wouldn't do it right by his family. So, you know, and mind you, this sister that I'm talking about, me and her actually talked with each other before she was pregnant. So it wasn't like I, you know, intentionally got with somebody, was trying to get with somebody who was pregnant or just had a child. But I was trying to rekindle something that we didn't have, really, honestly. But I was like, all right, cool. You know, let's try to make this work. So I remember I asked her one time, I said, if he changed and he made strides to be a better man for his family, would you take him back? And at first she was like, well, it's not gonna happen. I was like, but what if he did? And she's like, well, that's impossible because he's never gonna change. And I'm like, well, what if he did change? And she paused for a second, but then she eventually said, well, you know, if he changes, then I'll consider it. I'll consider getting back with him. But I mean, right now that's not happening. And so I said, all right, we still got feelings for him, and which is understandable. Now I get it. I would advocate for, especially black men and black women, if you have a child, please try to work on that relationship. For the child's sake, for the family's sake, work on that relationship. But then I wasn't like that. I was, you know, still very young. And so, but I knew when she told me that, I said, this ain't gonna work. you know. And so before we even got to a relationship or anything of that nature, I just said, look, I'm not gonna be the rebound in that situation, you know. But the baby daddy was a constant thing when we were trying to rekindle something that clearly never existed. So I've been on both sides of that fence. So I mean, you know, Pete Davidson and look, specifically Pete Davidson, it ain't worth it, brother. It's not worth it. You know, no disrespect to Kim Kardashian, but I don't get it. Because I'm trying to figure it out. What would make a man who doesn't have children get in a relationship or become the rebound to a woman that has a baby daddy, such as Kanye West? Shit ain't that good, bro. We got the tapes. We got the beef. It ain't that good, bro. Ain't no woman that good. There's plenty of other women out here that don't have that situation going on. So that's why I'm saying, fellas, even you Kanye stans, you can like Kanye all you want to. You do not want to be Pete Davidson right now. I guarantee you. You don't want to be that. You don't want to be that guy. It's too much stress. It's too much drama. You know, like I said, been there, done that. Then I was the one that was causing it. I was the one causing it. You know what I mean? It ain't pretty on either side. You know what I mean? So, that said, man, like and subscribe. Until next time, get at me. Holla.